Sorry, I'm just like, look at this lighting! Anyways, okay, so hello everybody. My name is Lucia and welcome back to my channel. So today's video, everyone, y'all gotta buckle up because that's how intense this video is going to be. So in all seriousness, this video today is going to be actually really serious. It's not something that is meant to be joked about. I know my opening there was a little jokish, silly. It was a little silly, which I do apologize for. That's just like, if I don't start the video off like that, I have a hard time talking to a camera by myself in my red Honda Civic. So that's just like how it had to happen. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for that. But yeah, so it is very serious. So as you see, I am buckled up and I hope you are too. And when you're ready, like, enjoy the show. So today I'm going to be focusing on this little thing called, or a big thing I should say, called mental health. Most specifically my mental health, just because mine hasn't been all that great lately. And I don't want to be ashamed of it. And I don't think anyone ever should be ashamed of their mental health. Ever. And it's okay to not be okay. And I know I probably sound so like hashtag Bell Let's Talk, like, you know, like stereotypical, like, you know, like things that people like tweet just like on Bell Let's Talk Day. But here's the tea. It's not Bell Let's Talk Day. So I'm already like breaking the stigma on my own or whatever. So this past year, starting from December specifically, has been so rough for me. And I don't want to like basically say like, oh, like my entire past has been like beautiful, amazing, like no issues at all, you know, like obviously like that's not the case. I have had anxiety, like medically diagnosed anxiety since I was in grade 7, I believe. Hopefully I'm not wrong with that timeline, but I believe it was around grade 7. Grade 7 for sure is when I saw my first counselor, things like that. And I know I went to a couple doctors. I was supposed to go on this thing called Zoloft, which my parents never let me, which is fine. Like, I'm not mad at them, like whatever. But like at the time they didn't want me to go on Zoloft. I didn't even know what it was. Like, you know, I'm just like grade 7 there and they're like, basically my anxiety was really bad, yada, yada, whatever. I was having a major, obviously, like, I don't know if the word's identity crisis. Is that right? That's probably not right. But I'm talking about myself, so I'm not really afraid of offending anyone because, like, it's me. But, like, obviously, like, I'm trans and, like, a member of the LGBTQ plus community. So I was dealing with a lot of that stuff and, like, figuring that out starting around that time. And I think that's what really caused my anxiety to be like that and then progress throughout time. Now, about actually over a year ago, I would say like 2 years ago now. What am I saying, a year ago? Like, time just flies when you're not having fun, I guess. But over a year ago, I was diagnosed with gender dysphoria. Once again, like medically, like saw a lot of different doctors and got a lot of different opinions, and it's like official, I am diagnosed with it. Meaning, like, trying to like keep it pretty simple here. Like, I don't want to go too far in depth, but basically gender dysphoria is something that makes me very uncomfortable with the gender that I was ascribed at birth, meaning like obviously like I was born like a boy, right? And I was raised to be masculine, and now anything really masculine or like stereotypically masculine, of course, that's what really bothers me. It just gives me a lot of distress, a lot of, I guess, in a way, like anxiety. So my gender growing up and how I was treated according to my gender, and how I was supposed to like be perceived and like express myself, like my expectations of that just gave me a lot of like anxiety. So now I have started hormones and everything for that. So that's kind of like, I don't want to say treatment, but essentially that's what it is. And like, I'm not saying it's a treatment to being trans. Like, I'm trans and like that's just like how it is. It's not a mental illness to be trans, but like my gender dysphoria definitely impacted my mental health a lot is what I'm trying to say. And ever since I started transitioning, so being on hormones and such, and just basically like being myself, has really helped me a lot. So that's good. But yeah, starting in December, like this year I had a lot going on, which I've said in past videos. Like I had like running, and by the way, like I hope, okay, like, I don't want to say this and be like, all like braggy or whatever, like, because it's not something to even brag about, but I just mean like, I'm almost positive, could be wrong, almost positive, I've been told this from other people, that I was like the first transgender like athlete, specifically also like first transgender runner at my university. And then I was also like, basically there was no policies for me, so like they didn't know like where to put me or anything, because like I'll make a whole other video about that, but like essentially, yeah, like, so, like, it was very stressful, like, being in the women's race, being the first ever, as far as we know, transgender woman essentially to compete slash run in the OUAs for cross country. Ontario University like athletics championships is like where it was. So yeah, so that's really a big deal. I just had a lot of pressure on me there. And right after that, I think is when, like, because a lot of people didn't like that I was running in it, I guess. The people I had around me, like, of course, like, everyone in my life was very, very accepting and helpful, including my university was phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal. I'm so thankful for them and so grateful. But I mean, like, just, like, outside voices, coming in, like, I just heard some things multiple times that, that weren't fun. And I think that kind of got to me, too. And then, yeah, so obviously, like, I was going through my thesis, or not going through it, I was doing my thesis, which was the best experience of my life. I've learned so much about myself through that, but it was a struggle to learn about myself through that, if that makes any sense at all. My parents are walking by. So yeah, so now moving forward into like December-ish kind of time of like this past year, that's when things got really, really, really bad for me. So as I said before, like I've always had anxiety, but I've never experienced it to this degree, or my mental health in general, has never been this bad before. It actually, that's not true. It was this bad one time in grade 11, but that's like a whole other story. But like, it's like this was, and that was for a whole other different like ball game kind of thing. Like this is like different kind of thing. So like the worst it's been in a while, I should say. And yeah, it just wasn't fun. So I guess like my symptoms type things that like I've tried to film this video, by the way, like 6 or 7 different times, not even kidding. Like I literally have like the receipts on my phone, like all the like footage kind of thing. And I ended up having a panic attack in the majority of, not the majority, in all of the videos when I started talking about my symptoms. So I hope that doesn't happen. So yeah. So the main symptoms that I've been having that really started bothering me, that I really want to focus on, that I just want to share, because if anyone else is experiencing this, like just know that you're not alone. That's like the purpose, yeah, and I don't want you to feel like you need to be ashamed of it, which is hence why I'm putting this on YouTube for everyone to hear and see and everything, because it's nothing to be embarrassed about. Anyways, so yeah, so I would get a very uncomfortable feeling all through my stomach and chest. Super, super, super uncomfortable. I don't know how to fully describe it, but it's like anxiety. Like it's just like almost like butterflies, but like not like, when you're like, oh, I have butterflies in my stomach and you're like really nervous or something, and then you feel like kind of nauseous. I guess it's like similar to that, but like 10 times worse. Like it's not like I'm like nervous for something. It like actually like is so uncomfortable. Like I couldn't I would lay in bed all night long and I wouldn't be able to get rid of this feeling, and it would keep me up like all night long, and then I'd be like feeling it like throughout the whole day. Like it was just like a mess, especially in bed is when I felt it. Then I would like wake up in the morning the next day and I would feel so heavy. Like my body would feel like gravity, like times 100. Like I would physically, this was very physical for me. So physical discomfort all through my chest and stomach, very uncomfortable. I would describe it as not painful, but like just very uncomfortable. To the point where like I could not stop it. Like I literally could not stop it. And that's what really got to me too, because like it wouldn't go away. Everything I tried wouldn't make it go away unless I self-harmed, which of course, like I would never recommend to anyone. But if you do it, just know like you aren't alone. So the point of that is like when I would feel super, 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 super anxious, I would self-harm. And I don't want to talk about that in detail just because I'm not comfortable with it. Maybe I will in the future. And I also don't want to like trigger anyone. So I'm just like not going to like go in detail. But when I would self-harm, I would feel like that's what would like let that anxiety release, if that makes sense. So that feeling would go away only when I self-harm, but then following that I would feel very, very guilty, so it wasn't actually helping me. And I don't know the science behind it. Like I don't know if that's like a normal thing really. My doctor said that that's like essentially like a lot of times why people like self-harm. Like I told my doctor and they said like, yeah, like it will make you feel better, just in that moment though, of course, which is why I was doing it often-ish, I would say. Not like often, like it wasn't like an everyday thing, but it was like a 3 times to like 5 times not 5, 3 to 4 to 5 times a week, I would say. Anyway, so then I would wake up in the morning and I'd have like, I already kind of mentioned this, but I would have like gravity like pushing on me. I wouldn't be able to like get out of bed physically. And I've heard like people say that before, and I never really knew what that meant or like what that would be like to feel that. And I experienced it, and I didn't like catch on to that, to even like what it was. Like it would literally feel like I would feel so low energy that I would like not be able to move my body. It's so weird. Like I've never felt like that in my life before, and I did for like since December until now. Literally, like currently still happening sometimes, often, I would say. So yeah, that's not fun. So yeah, basically that was like, those are like the two main things. Of course, like with anxiety, there's like other issues as well. Like things like I shake randomly and like the shaking won't stop. I feel very, like, I feel like I oftentimes, this one is really hard for me to talk about, but I have a difficult time realizing like what is real and what isn't real in terms of like I'm very like insecure in like relationships that I have with people, like friendships and things like that. Like everything that I care about, aka like the things that I care about most in my life are my friendships. I've been like that for a long time, and especially now, I don't know what it is. I mean, like I do have amazing friends, so that's probably what it is. But like I just like I cherish friendships so much, and I think of them as like so long term and everything. But my anxiety tells me things in my head, and I worry about things to the point where I'm like sick to my stomach. I have that feeling. I can't breathe. That's another thing that I really, really, really want to mention, because this one kills me too. Whenever I feel like I need to cry, which is like often because of this, because my anxiety tells me things that aren't necessarily true, and I like eat myself up because of it, and I end up hating myself because of it, like constantly, because I can't tell like what is real and what isn't real, and then I feel like I need to like bawl my eyes out, like cry, but I can't. And I haven't physically cried really. I've had tears, like you know what I mean, like my eyes get watery, but I have not cried, like actually cried, been able to like let it out in years. I would say at least 3 to 4 years. Genuinely, like it's literally hard for, like I can't do it. I physically cannot do it. Which I don't know if that's normal. Comment down below if that's normal. It probably isn't, whatever. But yeah, that's just like how it's been for me. So when I feel like I need to cry for like literally like the longest time, like I would say like at least 20 minutes plus, like sometimes to hours to like an entire day, like I'll have like this feeling of my throat closing, or like I don't know if it's something that's in my throat, it feels like, or if it's like closing. I would describe it as closing up, because I feel like I like can't breathe. Which I mean, someone just described that as like an anxiety attack, but like it could last like so long for me, like it doesn't go away, and I literally feel like I need to, you know that feeling when like you need to cry and you like get like all like tight and uncomfortable like in your neck and everything? That's how I feel, but like all day long, and it literally kills me. So that sucks too. But yeah, so, and I made a tweet like about this the other day too, because like I was like, just so all my friends know and everyone around me knows, like when I ask you like, oh, are we good, like obviously I always do it in like a nice way, but like I'm like, if we're good, like it's not meant to be like an insult or something, and I don't mean to be like a burden to you. What it is that I genuinely cannot tell what is real and what isn't real, and then I'm so like on myself that I literally am uncomfortable and basically miserable, like physically too. Like that's why I ask, because I'm like stuck in this spot where I'm just constantly uncomfortable, constantly sad, constantly sometimes like emotionless, I guess, in a way too, that I just hate. It makes me very uncomfortable. So now I have gone on medication for all of this. Sorry if this video seems like it's all over the place too, but it's just like me talking. But I have been on medication for this. I'm taking, oh my god, I love how I don't know. I literally need to think about it. I've been taking 20 milligrams, I believe, of Celexa, it's called. And it's been helping me. I've only been on it for about 6 weeks, and apparently it takes like 4 to 6 weeks to kick in. And I have noticed a slight difference. I have been a little bit better lately, but nothing like I'm still struggling for sure. And I'm not gonna like lie about it and be like, the meds are amazing, like, you know what I mean, like obviously, but yeah, like no stigma towards doing the meds either. Taking those pills is helping me slowly, so that's good. I'm happy about that. And yeah, so I don't even know what else I really want to talk about in this video. I'm just grateful for everyone who has stood by me during these times and really helped me and just like cooperated with me and had patience with me, because I know that I can be a challenging friend sometimes based off of my own mental illness. So just like know that you're appreciated, and that honestly probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So when I say that, like genuinely, I have the most amazing friends ever who constantly look out for me. Thank you so much for all of that. It genuinely means the world to me. So I love you all so much. I love my friends and family so much, and if anyone is going through similar things, just know that you're not alone, nothing to be embarrassed about, and that there is help out there for you. So thanks for buckling in with me today in my red Honda Civic as always. And yeah, just have an amazing day. Know that you're beautiful, know that you're loved, and that you are valid. Bye.